This is going to be a long video, so I'm preparing you now that it's going to be a long, talky, chatty video. I'm hopefully going to be able to get it as small as possible, but I've got so much stuff to fit in just this tiny little gap of a window that it's going to be a long one. The first thing that I need to get out of the way is the fact that no, there isn't going to be a vlog of my holiday. Well, not technically anyway. Basically, as we all know, I was very, very, very anxious to go away. When we got there, I discovered I was actually a lot more anxious than I thought I was, and for the first week, I just cried every day. I wasn't really in the mood for vlogging much. Every day was incredible, amazing, but every day was a very big struggle being there. So that's why there isn't much to vlog, because I honestly just didn't feel like being on camera. Lots and lots of pictures. I took too many pictures. I filled my memory cards alone with pictures, so it's quite a good job I didn't vlog. Throughout talking through this video, that sentence doesn't make that much sense. A while ago, okay, 3 years ago maybe, I'm not quite sure, I went to Benidorm, I did a vlog about what I did in Benidorm, and I inserted pictures while I was talking. That is the theme of what we're going to do today. I would like a separate video on how I coped, even though honestly I didn't really cope that well. But if you would like a separate video on how I actually coped being away, I can do that too. Possibly, that might probably be a longer video, but if you want a video on how I kept my anxiety as low as I could while away, then I will do that. Just leave a comment or thumbs up or something, and I will make a video about how all my coping techniques while we were away. The very first thing that we did is we went on a proper excursion. It was like a 3-activity excursion that I booked. We did the elephant sanctuary, Bush Babies, which is a monkey sanctuary, and we did a cableway, like cable cars, but I keep calling it a cableway even though it's an aerial way in Africa, I don't know. We did like cable cars. The elephant sanctuary was, it was crazy. It was our first full day, very tired because of the time difference. We got up at like 4:30 for our brains. Very tiring day, but oh my god, so worth getting up early in the morning. We went to the elephant sanctuary, which you have to go through Bush Babies to get there, and while walking through they're like, take your hat off, make sure there's nothing shiny because the monkeys will steal it. Welcome to Africa. We went and did the elephants, and I was terrified. Like, not anxiety wise, actually this is a huge elephant that could kill me, and I am in an enclosure with it. Like, as we were walking, they were like, we're not going to use them 2 elephants over there because they're a bit boisterous and don't really like to listen and, you know, are very dangerous. We're going to wait with these 2 elephants, which are a lot more happier to have people interaction. The naughty elephants were just the other end of the field. They weren't separate. They were just over there. And they went through and they told us all about what they eat and where they sleep and like the elephants' day-to-day activities. And then we went in to the enclosure and stood there with 4 elephants, 2 over there, 2 in front of us. Let's brush the elephants, which is why we'd gone so early. I had booked the one specifically to brush them because it wasn't extra to do that. You just had to get up earlier. This is how you brush an elephant. This is brushing an elephant. Then we walked trunk in hand with an elephant. So you went like this, and it grabbed, and then it put its trunk around your hand, and off you walked with the trunk in your hand of an elephant that was very large and very fast and kept bashing into my back because I wasn't walking quick enough. But it was huge. Then we did a touching of the elephants where they took them like through the bush, and then we went through, and you know, for your safety, they're behind little chain links which they then open up and you go, because it's going to stop an elephant. And at first I didn't go in. I was like, you know what, I've had enough. I don't want to go in it. I'm quite happy, I'll just watch. So Chris went in, and then the guides actually persuaded me to go in as well, saying like, you know, you're going to miss out on doing this. And on the pictures you can see I am gripping Chris's hand because I really was terrified. We then went and fed a bull elephant, which was behind a fence. Finally, one was behind a fence because it was so dangerous that it had to be behind a fence, and there was lines on the floor to do not cross that line. Only approach the elephant with food. Once you're done feeding it, retreat, because you can't hang about. So that was probably the nicest part for me, because I felt very structured and safe behind these lines, and it was behind a fence. But yeah, that was the elephant sanctuary. It was insane. I'm going to try and be quick, but it's not going to work. We then did Bush Babies, as I mentioned, was a monkey sanctuary where you have to take absolutely everything off. I had to take all my earrings out. I had to take everything out of our pockets. I had to put it all in a locker because the monkeys are thieves and will steal everything, which is exciting. It should have been like terrifying, but it was quite exciting. Be careful, they might jump on your head. Hey, a monkey! And it's basically just a walk through the like little nature reserve that they have. It was about an hour over like bridges and up in the trees, and it was really good. We didn't see that many monkeys, but then it is a huge reserve. There were a couple that were like very interested in us and what we were doing, and there was one, it was like looking down a girl's skirt. I had a baby one, not a baby one, but a small one, run up to me and start like looking in my hands and up my top and everything to see in case they had anything it could steal. When I didn't, it ran off and it smacked the guide and ran away. And then there was another one that actually sat on the guide's head, which will be here. It didn't come near us. My dad went the next day and it sat on my dad's head. If I can find the picture, I will insert that too. We were very jealous that it sat on his head. And it was really good. It was quite nice just to be able to walk through and listen, and the guide explained to us all about the different monkeys and where they'd come from. And we did the cableway, which really neither of us were that bothered to do the cableway. It was just come up in the whole package. And that was great. It was amazing views of South Africa. Like Johannesburg was just like everywhere. By that point though, we were very tired from the early start and the activities of the morning, so we went up, we had a cold drink and ice cream, and then we went back down and went home. Not really, because the sat nav broke and we drove around for 3 hours and then met a man with a gun. That is what happened. But the next day after that, I'm going to try and not run through day to day, but the next day after that, because we did get lost the day before, was feeling very stressed, and we were supposed to go to the Apartheid Museum. However, I just really wasn't feeling up to it. So we stayed by the pool all day and did nothing, which was amazing. Although we did still have monkeys, because where we were staying there was like free roaming like wild monkeys. Don't open your windows because the monkeys will come in, and the baboons, you know, so we still had an adventure even just sitting by the pool, because you would believe and there would just be a monkey that would run past. After that we did another incredible thing, which we actually went to twice. We went on the Thursday, and then we loved it so much we went back on the Friday, because it was about a 10-minute drive from where we were staying, and this was the Rhino and Lion Park. We went on a game drive, which was okay. Honestly, probably I would have been better just driving through it myself. A couple of animals, not very much really. It wasn't like the lion enclosure, we couldn't go in there because the lions were too close to the road, and we were like in an open top safari van, which was a bit like, this is kind of what we paid for, not to look at them through a fence, but it was still good. Then we went to the animal creche. We played with baby lion cubs, baby like spotted leopards, I can't think of the proper word, a baby black leopard, and a fully grown cheetah. That is what we did at the Rhino and Lion Park. As you do. Let's just go play with wild animals that could eat you. That was an experience. When we first went into the lion cubs, I was very nervous. I was with my mum, and she made me nervous because she was nervous. Chris and Craig, who is my stepdad, were like, yeah, lions. Me and my mum were proper girls, like, oh, I'm not quite sure. Then once I got used to it, it was amazing. They just lay there and slept. They were quite large. I was expecting like little baby lion cubs. Big lion, not big, there are bigger ones to come. Quite large, but they were just cute and they just slept the whole time. The baby leopards, one just slept the entire time. Another one, Chris had tassels on his pants. and it just, obviously it's a cat, it went ooh, and that was it. For the whole time we were in that little like cage enclosure, it just never let go of Chris's pants. It was just playing as a cat would a piece of string, which is just, but it wasn't a cat, it was a leopard, just as you do. And then we went into the cheetah. So got in with the cheetah, and it was just a cheetah. Cheetah. I don't know how else to explain apart from this is a cheetah. Where am I? And it licked all Chris's head, it licked all Craig's head, didn't want my head. No. Went back the next day, and we didn't do like a game drive or anything. We went back and headed straight back for that animal crash. So we went back and we played with lions and leopards and cheetahs, and we both got bit by the baby leopard. Not like aggressive, it didn't like scratch or draw blood or anything, but it was playing as a kitten would do. Just grabbed hold of your hand and was like, I did it, didn't like it, but I did it. And it did the cheetah again, and Chris was so lovely because he knew I was so devastated that I didn't get to be licked by the cheetah the day before. He sort of stood back and let me just have the whole cheetah to myself, and oh, it was incredible, amazing. It was a very hot day, so it was just lay down in the shade, which was nice because that meant we got to get in the shade. It was just, there was a cheetah on my knee, and it was just like, it was a cheetah on my knee, and I gave it a kiss. I kissed a cheetah. Saturday was the wedding. I'm not going to talk too much about it because, I know, it's a very personal, private thing, my sister getting married, but it was beautiful. She looked amazing. Byron, bless him, cried. That's my sister's husband. He cried when he saw her walking down the aisle, and it was just, it was so beautiful. It was, my big sister got married. It was very nice. The thing I will tell you is that the baboons did interrupt the vows, and all the security, because there was baboon security, of course, this is Africa. The baboon security had to like run down and chase all the baboons away during their vows. It was beautiful, and I'm so happy for my sister. It's just, oh, it was just lovely. So we moved to our apartment, which was lovely, and then we just kind of did nothing for a couple of days. It was so nice. Just like, we went to the shops and bought food, because we had an apartment, so we had like a cooker and a fridge, and we just did nothing but sit by the pool and relax and sunbathe and just be together for a while. We went to the supermarket, we went to the shopping malls quite a lot, and had lots of iced coffee and lots of wimpy. We went to the Lion Park, which was our biggest expense while we were there. We went on Christmas Eve. It was our Christmas gift to each other, and it was, there are no words. While we were away, I kept saying it's bonkers because it made everybody laugh because it's a very British word. It was actually bonkers. It was insane. We did 2 game drives while we were there. We did like a daytime one, which was really good. It was so much better than the Rhino and Lion Park, but I'm guessing because we were in like a grated safari truck, we were fine to go in with the lions, and there'd be baby lion cubs like this big. They're the ones I wish that I could cuddle, but we didn't get to cuddle them. And while driving through, as you do, the tour guide was like, that lioness right there, that's the one that killed the tourist. Yay! Really, like in the summer, I think. So that was, we were safe in the thing, but still, to know that that lion right there had killed somebody was a bit, whoo. Because, I'll explain, once we'd finished the game drive, we had some lunch, we had booked an activity that involved walking 2 lions for an hour in a field with 2 lions. So knowing that one had eaten somebody, it was a little bit, these weren't lion cubs, they are young lions, they are advertised as, and in case you are ever going to go, be warned, young lions mean 12 and 15 months old, male lions, so they're kind of huge. And I was very nervous, but excited nervous. Insane. When I think back now, I think I wasn't real, that didn't happen. These are things that you dream about doing, or things that you see other people do. I did not I was not in a field with lions having pictures, just stroking it because there was a lion. It was crazy. Then straight from there we were driven back to like the main part, and we got on another bus and did a cheetah interaction like in a field for an hour with a cheetah. This cheetah did not want to play ball. They just didn't care. It was just off wandering about chasing birds, which is incredible to see it run and like dart, but terrifying. It wasn't really into it. I must say. It was more, it's a wild animal. It just didn't want to sit and pose for pictures that day, which is fair enough, I suppose. It's a little bit disappointing because we paid not a lot of money, but we paid quite a lot. But it's a wild animal. If it doesn't want to pose for a picture and go cheese, it doesn't have to. It sort of just wandered. Then it jumped on our bus. We went on it. We jumped on our van and refused to get off, and they had to call another van to come pick us up because the cheetah just chilled out on the back seats. Was like that, nah, I'm not getting off. I'm going back in the comfy seat. We then did an evening game drive, which is when they feed the lions, that did scare me. We were still in a van, like a proper graded safari truck, but hearing those lions, if I can, I will insert videos. I didn't get many because it was so busy. Everybody sort of just went straight to one side, so everybody's like standing on the back of chairs and everything trying to see. Listening to those lions was wow, that's scary. We also did lion cubs as well. Again, I forgot to mention that we did lion cubs earlier on in the day, and they just slept the whole time. It wasn't exciting. It was just lion cubs. They just slept. Then we stayed the night at the lion park. That was like our main big expenditure, was staying the night in the tents. So going to sleep with the sounds of lions roaring behind you is something that I don't think I can explain. We're just lying, good night, rah, what? There's a lion. It wasn't like near us, I'm just being dramatic really. We were in like a field, and they were like over here somewhere, in like a proper enclosure. But the sound that they made while you tried to go to sleep, we were having a coffee outside before we went to bed, and rah, it's a lion while we went to sleep. We also got eaten alive by mosquitoes that night. Eaten alive. Really. I had like 40 just on my hands, and then we counted one arm because I couldn't remember counting the rest of me, and there was 50 just on this one arm. We were eaten alive. Poor Chris's head was just munched on. We then did Christmas Day. We didn't do anything because the weather was crappy and everywhere was shut, so we just chilled back at the apartment and watched Christmas films and ate milk tart, which is amazing. I might look for the recipe for milk tart. Our last excursion trip was to Croc City. Now, it is the only thing that I have left a bad review for on TripAdvisor, because as I said, I'm very much for the animals. Croc City something didn't quite feel right. I didn't like how small the crocodile pools were. Like, for the amount of crocodiles, they seemed really small. Yes, we got to hold baby crocodiles and snakes, like little snakes and then big snakes. But the whole way it was done was just a bit... They got a baby crocodile out and said, "Here, pass it along." Then they got another one out and went over here and said, "Here, pass it along." And that was it. You just passed it. Which probably would have been okay, except there was about 50 people, and people kept dropping the poor thing onto the hard concrete from here. And then they had the little snakes, and they were just being dropped on the floor. And then the big huge snakes he just pulled out and put it on some guy and said, "Pass it along." I couldn't lift this snake, so everybody's just picking it up and nobody knew how to hold it, or I didn't feel comfortable with it. Still a good experience, like holding huge snakes, but the whole thing was just a bit something just didn't quite sit right with me. And that brings us to the end. We didn't, like I said, we just sort of chilled a lot of the time. Like, it was very nice just to relax, but we had an incredible time. You okay, Chuck? Don't go for a poo. I think because when we did go out, we did so much and they were so packed full of every single thing we possibly could do, then it was quite nice just to go, oh, let's just do nothing today. Let's just lie by the pool and do nothing. But it was an incredible, incredible holiday, and it's just the pictures say it all. I'll be uploading a vlog straight after this. I will link it down in the description bar. Make sure to go over and check it out. And again, let me know if you want a video like this, but based on how I actually coped with going away. Thank you for watching. We had just an incredible time, and it was just insane. Make sure that you thumbs up and that you subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.
What's next, guys? Let me touch.